Kat Miller.
And I'm Melissa Archer.
Welcome to the holiday edition of Passionate Living. We did it.
We did.
We were synchronized.
This
As
time,
you can
yes.
tell, it's the holiday edition. I should have had a hat on.
Oh, no,
Melissa's
it's
just like on
okay.
top of this whole game. You got the Christmas thing going on.
This
I
is
love
one
it.
of my favorite seasons, that's why. So
I
I'm
love
just
it.
like, right after Halloween, this is where I am.
That's great. And today we have like some of our favorite episodes, holiday episodes from the past that everybody's gonna love.
Yes.
And one of
Yes.
them is just one of my all-time favorites. If you love old cars, if you love history and hearing some of these amazing stories,
Yes.
you are not going to want to miss the segment for the Buffalo Transportation Museum, which is the Percero Museum, as many people know. And I couldn't believe when I walked through those doors what was in this place.
I know. Beautiful
They even
cars.
recreated a Frank Lloyd Wright filling station right there inside. It's unbelievable according to his plans.
That's
It's just
wonderful.
remarkable.
Yes. So we also have a music segment where we have a local artist that wrote a song for Tony Bennett, and even though he could not be here, we will be having an interview with his manager. So that is so exciting.
Yeah, Tony Bennett's manager,
Yes.
and the singer sounds just like Tony Bennett.
Yes.
I couldn't get over it.
Amazing. You might not
Blew
be
my
able to tell the
mind.
difference.
Yeah, you really can. If you close your eyes, it's remarkable.
Yes.
And then we have the Christmas episode with the tree giveaway, which get your tissue boxes ready because there's a story in there that will just open your heart so big, and the amazing people that helped make this possible during COVID.
During COVID, during a difficult time, and
Yep.
helping families. That's
Yep.
beautiful.
So it's going to be a great holiday special. What are you doing for the holidays, Melissa?
Well, spending time with family, hopefully eating too much food, and
fun.
enjoying some time off,
Wonderful.
and helping to get season 5 up and running.
Yes, which is great. We have so many surprises for you in store. Over the holidays, I'm going to be producing my butt off. We have a
Yeah.
peace special between now and the first of the year that we're going to be airing that's really going to be amazing on next
Yes.
week's show. Do not miss it. And then our launch of season 5 happens the first week of January.
Very
and oh my
nice.
gosh, we have so much magic
So
in store
much.
for you this upcoming year. And remember, when you're watching the show, to please watch every week, to write in, to let us know. If you want to see anything that we don't have on, our purpose is to inspire people, and we just want to light you up, and everybody that works on the show gives their whole heart to it.
Yes.
So
Yes, and help people find the best versions of themselves and just live passionately every day.
I love it. Well, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Take care.
I love when people use their passions to make a difference in the world around them. And John, you're doing that today. What a gorgeous event that you do here every year.
Well, this was started 36 years ago by legislator Chuck Swanek, and as the new owners of the property here, Kenton Elmwood Commons, we've continued the event. And so this year was a little bit different, with COVID, and we found our normal suppliers of trees were pretty well sold out. So we had to reach into our connections outside the normal group, and we got lots of people to come forward, and we thought we were going to have 50 trees, and now we've probably got 400. So we're welcome anybody to come who needs a tree to come, and we have a whole room full of ornaments and decorations that can also go along with the trees.
John, now you have this whole building that you've pulled together, you and your business partner, and you're using it to really make a difference in the whole community overall.
Well, right. We've been the owners of the building here for about 2 years, and we're trying to make it a real community center, mixed use, and our intent is we'll be building some senior apartments, maybe as many as 150 in the rear property. And the mixed use is wonderful here in the building. We've got a daycare here. It's been here for 18 years. We have Buffalo Turners gymnastics group that's been here for 34 years. Recently, we've added the New Story Church, and they're a wonderful volunteer group and religious organization. So they're here on Sundays, and they have a classroom. And we're looking to fill up the rest of the classrooms on the first floor for mixed use, maybe some medical offices, and just going to make it a great community center.
Dave Flynn is here with us today. And Dave, you're from Lowe's. You brought a bunch of these trees over to help families with their holiday season this year.
Yeah, absolutely. John reached out to us, and it was just the right thing to do. Bruce, one of my pro guys, has a good standing relationship with them. So when the need came out and we had a bunch of trees left, it was just the right thing to do, help out the community. Fits in with Lowe's overall philosophy of giving back to the community, and just obviously it's a win-win for them. They kind of help a bunch of families out, and for us, it helps us get rid of these trees, and then the town, from my understanding, is going to come in and chip and shred any of them and recycle them, so they'll get put to good use one more time. So for everyone, it's just a great situation. So
Last night, I came by here to do some B-roll before we did the shoot today, and a young woman, one of my soul children, told me that she didn't have a tree for her little 3-year-old and her, and she has a little apartment. She was struggling this year with everything that's going on, and she sent me pictures of her tree last night and said she's forever grateful, and she cried all night and can't thank us enough for giving her little boy a Christmas this year. So I want to thank the three of you for being such a big part of, especially this year with everything going on, of bringing holiday spirit to families who might not otherwise have it. Thanks so much, guys.
thank you.
Good. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Chuck, you started this how many years ago?
This is our 35th year doing this. It started with Dave Arita from Arita Tree Farms came to my office and said he had some extra Christmas trees he'd like to give away, and we started it. Unfortunately, Dave has passed, but we decided to keep the tradition going because we just believe that people, if they want a Christmas tree, should have a Christmas tree. And these trees would be mulched in the next few days. So by giving away, people who just can't afford a Christmas tree or struggling this year, unemployed, the sign of the economy, we're going to give them a tree.
And I'm sure this year was even more intense with everything going on in the world around us.
This year, it reminds me of 07, 08, when the economy really collapsed. Same kind of thing. We're catching a lot of the newly unemployed. People never expected to be in this situation. Didn't see this on the horizon. And so if you have to make a choice between a Christmas tree or food, they'll choose the food, but we'll give them the Christmas tree now.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much,
It's my
Chuck.
pleasure.
Merry Christmas to you. You're welcome. I hope you enjoyed that really heartfelt segment about the Christmas tree giveaway, because it is one of my all-time favorites. And another all-time favorite is coming up next. So stay tuned if you love old cars and if you love rich historical stories, because you will not want to miss this one. Also, before we come back, we're going to show you a few of my favorite places to go to when I start my shopping on the 23rd, 24th of December, to go to for the last minute Christmas gifts. And we love these guys, so make sure to mention that you saw them on Passionate Living if you go pick anything up. I just wanted to find out how you make chocolate. What do you do behind the scenes here?
We buy bulk chocolate, we process it, and we make all the centers, all the fudges, all the toppings for the ice cream shop, all the truffles, all the brittles. Family recipes dating back to 1945. Over the years that I've been in it, I've seen the dark chocolate segment grow. At one time we did 90% light chocolate, 10% dark chocolate. Now we're doing 60-40 dark, because dark is really heart healthy.
Welcome to the inn.
Wow.
Again.
I love this place so much. It is just so absolutely beautiful.
Well, thank you for the kind words. It's really a pleasure to share it with you and our guests. It's an amazing place. It has an amazing energy. It's a great way to tell the Buffalo story. When you view Buffalo through the lens, which is in Buffalo off Elmwood, it changes your perception of this city.
Yes, it really does. I've always believed that a home has a soul, and especially these grand old homes, because the people that built them, that lived in them, weren't taking the mainstream path. They were taking the path less traveled oftentimes, and these walls hold the most remarkable stories from the past. Oh my gosh, Jim, you said don't get your hopes up too high. And then I walk into this place, I'm overwhelmed. I was emotional when I walked in and saw the incredible amount of work, of passion that you've put
Thank you.
into this
Thank you.
project.
Yeah.
Could you tell me a little bit about how this came about?
Well, it all goes back to being a young child living in Buffalo, and the man next door had a Pierce arrow up on blocks that he hid away from the government because you were supposed to scrap them for aluminum value during World War II. And he had this Pierce arrow, and we went in. I was 3.5 years old, and found sliding down the fenders was great sport. And he had a fit, and to keep me quiet, because I kept saying, why can't I play on this car? He would give me a button, a pin, a photo of an old car. And I said, well, this is pretty cool. I should go to all the old guys in the neighborhood and see if I can bug them. And so it was like Halloween every day. And by the time I'm 9, the basement's full. And my mother said, what are you going to do with all this stuff? I said, I'm going to have a car museum. We had gone to the Henry Ford in Detroit. I saw that, excuse me, and said, that's what I want to do. I want to have a car museum.
Wow. So you started out as this Dennis the Menace of the neighborhood,
Dennis the
so to
Menace
speak.
of the neighborhood. I know
And
they ran when they saw me coming, but by the time I'm 18, I moved down here in Buffalo, at Seneca, Michigan area, and started restoring cars, and that enabled me to collect a lot of things. So,
Well, let's take a look at some more of the museum.
Sure. Okay.
Jim, this is remarkable.
Thank you.
This
Thank
was
you.
built by Frank Lloyd Wright?
It was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, and he never built it for Michigan and
Okay.
Cherry, right down the street from us in Buffalo.
All right.
I still get goose pimples when I look at it because I can't believe we were able to build it. And we built a building to build it inside of,
Right.
and it's going to be here for 100 years or more, we hope.
This is a filling station.
It is the Frank Lloyd Wright filling station, the first one he ever designed, and he did build one later in Cloquet, Minnesota, which is a modern design, 40 years later. But this was 1926, 27
Oh
is
yeah,
when he
even
designed it.
the lights, everything. This is
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, those are the
his
bells where the
designs,
gas would come
yeah.
down. Use gravity feed, hide the tanks in the air. That was the that was where the gas came from.
This is,
And those light up at nighttime. It's quite spectacular.
that is remarkable. Wow. And you do events in here as well.
Many events. We've had almost 900 events in the last 23 years.
Wow.
Major events. Our capacity is 3,000 in the two parts of the
Right.
building. A lot of companies and law firms and people like that. It's so unique. Anybody can go to four walls of some
Oh,
hotel or something, but look at this.
This
To
is
celebrate, it helps
remarkable.
us with our journey,
Yeah.
and it helps us pay our bills. We don't get any support from anybody,
Wow.
state or
So
federal.
this has
Yep.
all been.
This has all been, the state did help us build the
Right.
structure, this structure, not the gas station. They helped us with this. I told them,
Mm-hmm.
help us build the ship and we'll take care of it after that. And we have. We've shown them.
That's
And we've been
amazing.
self-sufficient.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's extraordinary.
Yeah, we're very happy with that.
Now I want to have you show me the Playboy.
The Playboy car,
I think
made in
that would
Buffalo.
be fun. Made in Buffalo.
Well, the Playboy car was something, a brainstorm of the Horwitz family from Buffalo. And back in the 40s, after the war, they decided that they thought they could build a car, a two-passenger, for all these troops that are coming back from the war. And they were going to keep it under 1,000. That meant Chevy and everybody else
Right.
was 1,400. The only thing they didn't take into account was that they were going to have children and they wouldn't be able to use a two-passenger car.
Right.
So it only lasted a couple of years. There were about 97 made.
Right.
Luckily we have one of those. We restored years ago the prototype for the Kaplan family, which is part of the Horwitz family. And we're thrilled to have this one. But the history is really cool because the Playboy magazine was named after this car.
So the actual magazine.
The magazine was named
the
after the,
Playboy
and
car.
there's a copy of the article over my other shoulder of Hugh Hefner was going to call it Stag Magazine.
Right.
His lawyer said, no, there's already a Stag Magazine. And one of his board members said, my cousin in Buffalo was made a car called Playboy. Why don't we call it Playboy? And it's exactly how the name came about. Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, Jim, tell me a little bit about this Valentine's section here and this first piece.
Well, that's the most important piece to Marianne and I. In 1970, February 1970, for Valentine's Day, I had found it in an antique shop before, and I surprised her with that Valentine card.
Right.
Trust me when I'm at the wheel of the matrimonial automobile. And that's the first Valentine that I gave her, and we were married October 23rd of 70, which will be 50 years this year.
Wow.
And we would then go to antique shows and pick up Valentines, hide them, and then give them to each other on Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's
well,
so
now we have over
precious.
400 or 500 Valentines, and this is the first time we've ever had them out. And we're so thrilled, and next year for Valentine's Day we're going to have a major Valentine's party around it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing this.
No.
This is such a beautiful part.
Thanks for highlighting something that's part of our life, 50 years.
Wow. This next segment, you're going to want to get another tissue box for because it just brings tears to my eyes every time I watch it. It's an amazingly talented musician who wrote a song, and he was hoping to get Tony Bennett to sing it, but the singer who stepped in sounded just like Tony Bennett. And Tony did get to hear the song, and his manager talks to us on this segment as well, and you are just going to absolutely love this story. So stay tuned, but before we come back from our break, we're going to have a few more of my favorite places to go for last-minute holiday gifts, so make sure to go in and support these guys. They're local, and they support us, and we just love them. They're one of my favorite go-tos. Thanks.
This is our store, a Lutheran
Wow.
church. It was built in 1832, converted now to my soap making facility, our little mini store, eventually a place where we can have workshops and all kinds of services offered in the main sanctuary.
This is amazing.
So we have a skincare product line of about 6 different skincare items. We have about 20 different kinds of soaps. We sell in stores such as Wegmans, Whole Foods, much smaller stores that are locally owned.
I love your soaps. That's how I met you, was going to the farmer's market and finding your soap. I'm here with Therese at one of my favorite shops ever, Thin Ice. I love coming into your place. I can't tell you how many times I've needed a last minute gift, and I know I can find something in here for whoever I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's our goal.
Yeah.
I opened in 2006, but I still love coming to work every day, which I think is pretty significant. And there's just quite a few stores closing at the same time, and none of them had a focus on local artists. I wanted to bring together the local artists and the community. The response was amazing. I have so many regular customers that just walk up from the neighboring Elmwood Village, and they just want to support the local artists as much as I do.
Stop the arguing, start the caroling, let me hear you sing. La 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 la. Ooh.
A year ago, Christmas morning, I woke up and I had this little song idea in my head, so I grabbed one of the guitars and started plunking around a little bit, and I came up with this melody. I grabbed my iPhone and I started singing into it, and I came up with this little song called This Is Christmas. And I thought, gee, you know, it might be a little fun thing to send out to my close friends, so I grabbed the iPhone, sang it, recorded it in there, and texted a little message and Merry Christmas to my close friends and sent it out. And then if we fast forward a whole year, I'm visiting a good friend of mine, Kenny Tomasula, and he said, hey, you know, it's Christmas season right now. What'd you ever do with that song you wrote last year? And I said, well, really not much of anything. I said, I had hoped back then to do something with sending it to somebody like Tony Bennett to sing. And Ken mentioned, and we all are kind of aware of this now, you know, Tony's going through a lot of health issues, so there's no way Tony would be able to do this. So Kenny called him, you came right over. Yep. We did our little greeting. I said, hey, 40, I got this little new song I'm thinking of doing. Why don't you give it a whirl? I grabbed the guitar there, and we started playing a little bit. And the moment you opened your mouth and started singing, I almost dropped to my knees. I said, what a voice. And Ken Kaufman said, you know, being a holiday time, he said, this could really be a great traditional Christmas song. Let's do it as a ballad. Yes. And that really brought your voice to the forefront.
One look around, smiles are all you see.
I am here today with a very special guest that I'm excited for you to meet, Suzanne Hillary, and she has been in the music industry for over 3 decades and has some wonderful stories to share. We're going to talk with her a little bit about Tony Bennett today, who she's worked with for 5 years. And I want to welcome you to Passionate Living, Suzanne. The little bit I've talked to you, you definitely have a passionate spirit, that's for sure.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you and be a part of your program today.
Thanks. How has it been to work with Tony Bennett?
He's just an amazing person, and I have to say, people will say, is he really as nice as he seems? I'm like, nicer. I mean, like, just absolutely just a spiritually beautiful person, super creative, very, very, very hardworking. We would be going downtown to like a record release, for a record signing at a local record store. And he's talking about, marching in Selma with Martin Luther King. And when in the office, the phone would ring and my assistant would be like, a Coretta is on the phone, and it would be like Coretta Scott King or somebody named Dion, who kind of sounds like Dionne Warwick. And I said to my assistant, whoever they say they are in this office, they are who they are. And it was just as simple as that. During these days, he was surrounded with amazing people because he's an amazing person himself, and people just flocked. And his guest list, let's say at Carnegie Hall, was endless. He was just a really amazing person.
This song for Tony Bennett. He said when they wrote it and sang it, they felt like this was for Tony.
It was a very simple thing where I get a text, out of the blue, of this Christmas song, and I was just like, where did this come from? And it was very, very. It seriously was about a month ago. And it just hit me over the head instantly, going like, when did Tony do this? And I don't understand, what is this? My first gut instinct was like, this is going to confuse and maybe upset Tony because he's going to not remember when he recorded it. Because I thought it sounded so much like him.
I couldn't believe it the first time I heard it. I'm like, he sounds just like Tony.
But this is and I hope for, a century to come, this is a Christmas hit classic. This song, yes, it was sung and arranged in the spirit of Tony Bennett, but honestly, they wrote this song. They played this song. I hope this is just the beginning for these guys because they worked really, really hard, and I just think it's a hit Christmas song.
Coming from you, that's beautiful to hear. Coming from you with your background and your music, I know that'll mean the world to them. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you a million times over for this beautiful, beautiful interview today. I'm so grateful to you.
Happy holidays to all your listeners and viewers out there, and they're lucky to have you up there. And happy whatever anybody celebrates. It's not even necessarily
happy whatever anybody celebrates. That's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye now.
Take care.
I love Christmas. Tables all set for a family to feast. Grandma and Grandpa are ready to eat. One look around, smiles are all you see. This is Christmas.
Hi, my name is Melissa Archer, co-host of Passionate Living, and happy holidays, and we want you to meet the Passionate Living team.
Hi, I'm Eric. Happy holidays from Passionate Living.
Hi, I'm Timothy Marcolini, one of the editors on Passionate Living, and I just wanted to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Hi everyone, my name's Ryan, and I want to wish you a happy holidays from Passionate Living.
Hi, it's Rifat, and happy holidays from Passionate Living.
Hi, I'm Kyle. Happy holidays from Passionate Living.
Thank you so much for joining us today on this very special episode of Passionate Living. And from everyone on our team and our Passionate Living family, our WBBZ family, and from our Erie, PA and Marquette, Michigan families, we want to thank you for watching our show and supporting us this year. And we also want to wish you the happiest of holidays. Make sure to watch us every week in Western New York on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. and Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. on your true hometown station, WBBZ. You can also see us on our YouTube channel, Passionate Living TV, our Instagram, passionate.living, and our Facebook page, Passionate Living. And finally, I want to just say in this holiday season, I know it can get a little stressful with family and getting last minute gifts and making sure everything is perfect for the season, or if you're alone and you don't have family to share with this year, or you've just recently lost somebody close to you and it's a difficult holiday, I just want to send you so much love and remind you to give yourself a lot of nurturing this holiday season, a lot of quiet time in between the activity, and just a lot of self-nurture, a lot of take care of yourself. Go get a massage, go do something nice, buy yourself a gift that you've always wanted this year, and just drop in a little bit and take a little bit of breathing and meditation time for yourself. Again, thank you so much for watching. Our next show you are not going to want to miss. It is a very, very, very sacred episode about peace. And then in the first of the year, we are going to launch our new season 5, and we are so very, very excited. So make sure to be there for that. And we look forward to seeing you next week on Passionate Living. Much love.